Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And thank you for joining me today. I see people joining from different places. So, whether you're catching this, you're watching it right now, or you watch a replay, I'm really glad you're here. See, we are here to have a conversation and a very intentional conversation for that matter. A conversation about opportunity, access, and what it looks like when women start thinking beyond their current market and positioning themselves for what's next. You know, if you've listened, or if you maybe not listen, if you listen or you've actually read my posts of recent, you see I've been talking about proximity. And that's because proximity changes everything. It does change everything. Proximity changes everything. So can you see me? Yeah, proximity changes everything. Let me just go back a bit. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, and that's because proximity does change everything. Being in the right rooms with the right people, having the right conversations, that's why I wanted to host this info session to give clarity around the trade and business immersion that is organized by Blooming Ladies. And to explain how it's different from business trips you've been on, or group tours you may have seen before, or even some trade missions. See, what's the difference between this trade and business immersion and other ones you've been before? This experience was designed for women who are thinking a little bigger, women who are curious about new markets, sourcing partnerships, or expansion, especially across Africa. So let me tell you something. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be ready. You just need to be open. You need to be intentional and willing to explore opportunity in a structured way. Now, to be honest, this isn't for everyone. Yeah, some people have reached out to me, and by the time we spoke, realized that it's not for them, and that's okay. If you're looking for something casual, purely social, just want to go to Africa to have fun, then this is not for you. I know that, yeah, it might not be for you today, but later it might be for you. So please stay with me to the end because we're having different immersions across Africa. But if Africa has been on your mind, not just a place to visit, but as a market, if you're thinking about, even if you're in Africa, you want to expand across African countries, then this is for you. If you've been asking yourself, what else is possible for me or my business, then you're in the right place. So today, my goal is simple. I want to walk you through the intention behind this experience, um, how it works, who it is really for, so you can decide for yourself without pressure, actually, whether this aligns with where you are headed or not. So let's go in. I'm going to be talking a little about Blooming Ladies and this initiative. For some people that have known us, like, oh, this is different. Yes, Blooming Ladies started with an aim, and our aim was to create space for women to thrive. And that space could be virtual, in person. We just want to be a place where women can thrive. But now we've added a new layer. I want women to thrive beyond borders. And when I say beyond borders, I don't just mean geography. Yes, geography is the core, but beyond, we want to thrive beyond your limitations, beyond your comfort zone, and that try beyond the idea that opportunity only exists for you in one place, in one market. Especially in a time where the world is really global, right? So Blooming Ladies began as a space for women to grow professionally and personally in their businesses. But over time, something became clear. We couldn't just thrive only locally. Women need access. We need exposure. We need to understand global opportunity and in a real and practical way. And that's why the trade and business immersion was started. That's where it came from. And this initiative was created because too many women, I don't know if you're part of them, were asking the same questions. How do I explore new markets without guessing? How do I who do I talk to when I get to a new country? How do I avoid wasting time, money, or energy? Let me just tell you, it's not. a short story. This is real life. I was talking to a lady and she was sharing with me how she actually went on a trade mission, spent so much money. She has spoken to some people in the country she was going to, and she felt everything was ready. She paid. She had secured some meetings, only for her to go and realize that she just was just a total waste of time. It was not really structured for her. It wasn't something she wanted, that she needed. And I know that a lot of people waste money that way, going across for trade missions or anything they call it, and they come back almost empty-handed. It's because women were traveling with no real structure. We want to stop that. So this experience was designed to close that gap. You don't want to travel, attend conferences, and you feel inspired, but you come back and just watch opportunities from afar. We want you to be in the room, okay? Now, let me be clear about what this is not. This is not your typical business trip. This is not where you just fly in and have meetings and fly back. This is not a conference. It's not a networking tour. But what we've created instead is a created pathway. Everything is intentional. The market we're exploring is intentional. The sectors for the sectors is what you want. And we're working with you, with ladies that are going to go to finalize the sectors we're going to focus on. The conversations are being facilitated. That's why the groups are small. And the experience is also guided, And that's the reason we call it immersion, not a visit or not just a tour. The goal is not to overwhelm you, it's to help you to be positioned well in these countries that we'll go to. So whether you're coming from a trade partnership, or investment perspective, this experience is designed to give you clarity, context, and confidence before you make the decision, right, to go. Now, so the key message here is simple. This is not an open-ended experience. It's not come and figure it out on your own. It is a curated pathway created to replace guesswork with confidence and curiosity with clarity. Okay, so let's go on and talk. And I said, why Africa? Why now? Why the sudden push about Africa? In one of the content I sent out, and that's like saying that how many governments are moving to Africa, not moving to Africa in that sense, they're having signing trade deals and strategic alignment with Africa. We're seeing that happening. Why now? Why the rush? Because Africa is only 1.4 billion people today, and Africa is the youngest region of the world. And so that means that the youngest region of the world, you can be sure that we have the largest workforce. By 2050, 85% of the global workforce will be it will be in Africa. So what does that mean? What does that mean to you and I as a business person? Let's put on our business cap, where you have the demand, the supply, where everything is there. Where do you want to be? Because Africa is the next global growth engine. If you're going to grow your business, if any serious company wants to grow, where they are is in Africa. Every country, every continent that wants to tap into that resources. That's why we see government right now signing agreements, signing deals with Africa, because that is where it is. And China is it's very fast with that. China right now has like the largest country that has influence across Africa. Africa has the youngest population on the earth right now. And what does that mean to you as a business person? Like I said earlier, what this means for you is that your consumer base is in Africa. If you want long-term stability, market stability, what do? You position yourself, because the growth is speaking for itself. Well, a lot of countries or continents are seeing decline in the economic growth. Africa is different. We're seeing a rise in our growth. As you can see here, the average GDP growth rate of Africa is about African countries about 4%. You can hardly find that, because for other regions, they've just like when they've reached to their heights and they are plateauing, and some of them actually even are declining in the growth rate. But for Africa, there's still space, opportunity for urbanization. There's still space for of real estates. There's trade and regional integration going on right now in Africa with the Africa Free Trade agreement that is ongoing. So you see that that is the place for you to be. Amid the economic uncertainty, global economic uncertainty, Africa is still a place that is growing. And that's why we are focusing on Africa. Another thing in Africa, Africa has the highest number of women as entrepreneurs. So 58% of female Africans, 58% of the self-employed population in Africa are women. So women are not side story in Africa. It's not where you don't beg to be seen. That is where we have ourselves, female entrepreneurs. The most female entrepreneurs is in Africa. So that means there's opportunity for you there to come in and grow. And why should you care? Why should you care? Why should you, as a female leader, care about Africa? What is it in for? What is it for you? You see, because Africa, we reward relational leadership, and that's what you are already doing. So if you're even listening to it and you say, okay, I don't have a product, I have a service, or I want to just grow as a leader, it's a place that you should think of putting your feet there. You should think of impact. You should think of change. You should think of longevity. Then Africa is a place that you want to make sure that you are there, because it's a fertile ground for valued leadership. It's a fertile ground for impact-driven leadership, and that's what comes to you naturally. So as a female leader, this is why you should care. Apart from the fact that being a female entrepreneur, the ground is ready for you. You're not going to be feeling like the odd one out when you get to Africa. Thank you. So let's go to the next one. I'm trying to rush through this quickly. Still talking about why Africa. The first mover advantage, because Africa is where Asia was 30 years ago. Where everybody moving to China, moving to India to get their services. That is where we are right now. Africa is, because if we don't go in right now, late entry is expensive. Late entry is expensive for you. You don't want to miss that. Okay. So why Ghana? So why did we choose Ghana as our as the first country we are going to? Why Ghana? Why specifically? People have been asking me that question. Why did you choose Ghana? See, Ghana is very intentional. They've positioned themselves as a business-friendly gateway into West Africa. Right now, Ghana sits at the intersection of trade, sourcing, partnership, market access, and investment. We're talking about Ghana having a stable business environment, right? The policies, they are supportive, they have strong institutions, and an ecosystem that welcomes both local and international participation. That's why for many global players, Ghana isn't just a country, it's an entry point. And for us, because an entry point is the first place we are going to, but that's not going to be the end. Ghana, of course, they speak English in Ghana. They have a long-standing relationship with other global markets. So for you, it is for us a no-brainer to start with Ghana. Now, depending on who you are, your interest in Ghana might look different, right? Some of you are thinking about doing business. Some of you are thinking about sourcing materials for partnership and expansion, or just looking at investment. Ghana has room for all of these. So let me quickly spotlight a few key sectors where we're seeing real momentum, especially for women. Let me see if we have here. Okay, so one is agri-business. This is a major one. This includes products like shea butter, spices, tea, cocoa derivatives, natural ingredients used in food, in beauty, in wellness industry. Across Ghana, many of these value chains are powered by women, often through cooperatives and producer groups. So this is a place, if this is you, and business is a major one out. You can just look at this. Okay, and then there's real estate. Because of the growth and a lot of diaspora coming back to Ghana, we're having increased demand for real estate, urban centers, and we're having demand for residential, for commercial, for mixed use, even hospitality development. This is a good place for you if you're looking for ecosystem and looking for where to invest or co-invest. That's the place for you. Fashion is another growing space in Ghana. The sector blend craftsmanship and increasing global demand. And you have all these some places, I think I've seen the place where you can place your ready-to-make demand and then just put your own label on it, being manufactured for you, being made for you. So manufacturing, especially light manufacturing and processing, another area to pay attention to. Food processing, consumer goods, products tied to local raw materials. Ghana has positioned itself as a trade gateway to make manufacturing easy and relevant for you as a business owner. And finally, services. As the business ecosystem grows, so service logistics grows, education grows, wellness grows, and because services is tied to a lot of this product base of this manufacturing, then as that grows, the service sector also grows. So that is why one of the reasons why we chose Ghana. We chose Ghana. But you know what? Hearing about this, hearing me talk about it, reading about it, seeing people posting on social media their wins, doesn't create access. Awareness alone doesn't create access. What creates access is the proximity, being in the room, meeting the people behind the businesses, seeing how the sectors actually operate on the ground, not just in theory. And this is where the difference between curiosity and structure becomes really clear. Okay, so let me see if my internet. Oh, sorry. I hope you can still hear me because my network is saying that it's not stable. Okay, so for us, we designed this Ghana trade tours and business immersion to be structured. We want you to go in to make the right people to be in the right room and to make sure that you come back, not just with business cards, right? So this is just about jumping in blindly, and it's not about sitting on the sidelines forever, okay? It's about being intentional, choosing proximity with structure, being in the room today. So I'm going to go quickly. I think I've spoken about Ghana as a gateway. We'll talk about why trade and business immersion. Why did we go this way? Why did we choose why trade and immersion? So we said already, let's talk about what this actually looks like, because I've painted the big picture. We've spoken about why Ghana, and I want to really take you through what that would look like for you if you join us. Okay, so number one is you're going to have business briefings. These sessions where it's designed to give you real context before you step into conversations, to know what you're stepping into, to know what you're going to decide. So we have business briefings. It's going to be really regulatory led, what it means for a foreigner or a diaspora-led business to do business in Ghana, real opportunities. Hearing from the regulatory bodies themselves, not something second-hand knowledge, so you know what you're going into. And then the next one is B2B meetings. These are not random introductions. These are not speed networking or speed dating. Let me say that. These are facilitated conversations with people who are already active in the ecosystem, who are already vetted. The goal here is for you to understand fit, to understand, for you to be able to ask better questions and start conversation that can actually make sense to continue after the immersion. And then we have site visits. We want to visit factories, we want to visit cooperatives, innovation, and business hubs, aligned to what the ladies in our group, want. Okay, then also because all work and no play, I like this part, makes Jane a dull girl. We are also intentionally including structural site, cultural visits. So as part of the immersion, yes, we said this is not tourism, but we want you to understand the cultural context, to understand the stories, history, because there's something about understanding the market you're in. It's not just about the supply and demand, about understanding the people, their culture, and even their belief systems. Understanding history, values, and social dynamics helps you engage better and more respectfully, sorry, with the people and with the business. Okay, and then this one is important. This is special because this will not happen in all the might not happen in all the other immersion, but for this Ghana one, um, because that week is International Women's Day week, so we're going to have International Day edition. I'm calling it Women, Trade, and Economic Power. As part of this, there will be an exclusive dinner bringing together participants from Ghanaian female entrepreneurs and business leaders. So what we are doing, we are actually killing two birds with one stone. We are having International Women's Day. You're going to network with the women in Ghana, not just us that are going. And then you're going to have a high-level roundtable in collaboration with the GNCCI. I'm going to pause and read some because I think I missed my slide or part of my slide. So why did we partner with GNCCI? You know, because one of the reasons that we want to make sure that we we go into Ghana with a business, with a body, with an institution that is known, that is credible, and that's why we chose GNCCI. So GNCCI is Ghana National Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Like every chamber of commerce in every country, this is the federal one. It operates at the intersection of trade policy and enterprise. And for us, this was just the best option for us. So that's one of the reasons why we went with this partnership. So they will be organizing a roundtable that will be attended by different chambers of commerce and business association and sector leaders. So as you can see, this is really packed for you to make sure that you do not just go and have fun and come back. No. And then we're going to have strategy and reflection. After all you've done, after the meetings, what next? Do you need to have another follow-up meeting? Do you need to how do you need to structure your business after this conversation, just for you to have clarity? That's the plan. That's the plan why we put the structure, the strategy session there. And not all, we're going to have a time, like I said, all all work and no play makes Jane a dull girl. So one of the things we are going to have, we're going to have a day for you to either relax or just go into town to go to the market. You want to just go on your own tour for yourself. So we have that day to relax. So I think, sorry, I wasn't moving my horse. I was just talking. So I'm sorry about that. So who this experience is for? All right, let's talk about who this experience is really for. Because clarity here helps everyone. The immersion was designed very intentionally, and it works best when we have the right women in the room so that we can have the right kind of connection and networking even amongst ourselves, right? So let me start with this. Who is for? It's for female founders, executive consultants, and investors, women who are building, women who are leading, advising, or deploying capital. Yeah, so it's for women who are exploring things like sourcing products or partners, that want to enter new markets, they are expanding beyond their current geography, or understanding how trade partnerships or investments could fit into their bigger picture. So this is also for women who are curious but intentional. They're looking at expanding, even if they're not ready yet. They're trying to see what is there, what's available for me in Ghana. So I want to pause here for a second to say that you don't need to be perfectly ready. You don't need to have everything mapped out. You don't need to be prepared to engage thoughtfully. Sorry, you don't need to have everything mapped out, like I said. But what you just need to do is be prepared. you need to be prepared to ask questions, to listen, to reflect, to engage thoughtfully. That's what you need. This experience is for women. For you, if you're saying, I'm open to what is next, I'm willing to explore it seriously, you're open for that change. Now, let me just be honest about this and say, well, this is not for everybody. Like I said, we just want to go for tours, just want to go and have fun. This one is not for you yet, okay? If you just want to come and just observe, no. If you're looking for quick wins without engagement, then this is not for you, because you want to build, you want to understand first, you wanted to build relationships, you wanted to, to come out with outcome, to see something that will grow your business, about your business growth, right? And here's the key message I really wanted to take away from this info session. And this slide. Readiness is not about business size, it's about mindset. Readiness is not about business size, it's about your mindset. Okay. So you don't need to say, okay, I'm not big enough, I'm not strong enough, or I don't have the capital yet. But let's see what can be for you when you come, what doors can be opened. I was sharing with someone about a young woman that finished a master's in the UK. She's living in UK all her life and decided to go on this business immersion trip to Africa. And there and then what she saw helped her to come up with a business idea that she started. She sought the materials, she sought the employees, the workers, and everything is being done for her. She's into fashion, and she was able to build her fashion business to millions, hundreds of pounds, hundred thousands of, actually millions of pounds, because of that exposure that she went to. So yes, I want you to come, right? I want you to come, and I want to be intentional about these so that the women we have in the room, we are all aligned. Okay. I'm almost through. I hope if you have your questions, just put in the chat. I think I can see some already, and I hope I'm not going too fast. So, okay, let's talk about outcomes. What are the outcomes? Because this isn't really about going on a trip, right? We are focused on it. We wanted to come up with returns. We wanted to come up with something to make sure you have real outcomes and real value. Now, outcomes will not look the same for everyone. That's important to say upfront, especially for those listening from a corporate or institutional perspective. Okay? We don't position this experience as a guarantee of deals or contracts. What it provides is structured access, informed engagement, and the right environment for opportunity to emerge. One of the biggest outcomes women will gain is market clarity. You understand the market better than when you went there. You're able to see how do you position here, what is possible. And that's why it's not 3 days or 4 days. I will made it there's so many days so you can really interact with the market. Okay, so another key outcome for us is trusted introduction. This is not cold outreach. Remember I said we're partner with GNCCI, which is like the foremost private sector intersection with the governments and with the regulatory bodies. So you are having you're speaking with trusted people, trusted businesses, not just cold outreach. You're meeting partners, meeting suppliers, meeting sector players in different contexts. Okay. And then some women, yes, might come back with tangible results. Yeah, but might not be everyone. That might look like sourced products, pilot partners, or even signed agreement. But those outcomes depend on readiness, your alignment, and your follow through. What we provide is the proximity and structure that makes those outcomes possible. We're not promising transaction. Okay. Another thing that women gain is strategic visibility. You're visible because now you are in the room, you're having conversation. Remember, I said that we want to have put women in the room where decisions are being made. So being present in those roundtables, in those business discussions, in those relationship building settings, This is not just you sending messages on LinkedIn. I've got a great contact on LinkedIn, but beyond that, you are in the room, and that's where confidence comes in, right? You are confident to have this conversation. So, what does success look like after the immersion? What does it look like? For some, it's immediate deals progressing. For some, it's product sourced. For some, it's partnerships moving forward. For others, it's follow-up conversations, it's strategic repositioning. For some, it's clever expansion of investment decision. So it's actually left to you on how you're positioned and how you actually engage. But we know that this is, we know that success is knowing what not to pursue, knowing this is not what I want, this is what I want. And that's why I put it there for you to see. So if you're watching this replay and wondering, is this worth my time and attention? The answer is this. If you value clarity, access, and informed position, then yes. Because the real value is here isn't just what happens during the immersion, it's how you move after it. Okay? The real value for you is the intention. And what I've done here is to show you what happens every day. Because I've done the explanation, I'm not going to go through it. The one, arrival and welcome dinner, the two, policy regulatory briefings, and the three, visits to export factories, export zones and factories, and the four, share butter cooperative. The five, we do the culture and marketing, and we have a networking dinner, the marketing dinner, and the IWD day. So this is the itinerary. I'm just going to run through it. And then this is the practical details. We'll get to Ghana 8th March, which is a Sunday, and we'll leave Monday, 16th March, fully guided. Yes, the group size, we made it small intentionally because it's not about having a big size. It's making sure that everyone gains, they have meaningful access, they will have quality conversations. We don't want anyone to be left behind. Yes, everyone to make sure that you're having quality conversations and real engagement with people. So what is the investment and next steps? Like I said, I'm going to answer questions afterwards. I'm saying thank you for the engagement going on in the chat. So everything is covered for you. Everything is covered, the hotel, the logistics within Ghana. If you have to take a flight to see some of the farms, the flight within Ghana, return flight is inclusive. All the planned immersions, all the dinners, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner is there. All activities is included. We want to just come, and just make sure that you are learning, you are making connections, right? You're having the engagement that you need to transform your business, to open doors for you to your next. So, excuse me, the investment option is single room, $5,000, and shared $3,800. $2,800. Sorry about that. The call was coming in. Can you still hear me? Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, sorry, the call was coming. So let's go back here. Okay, so if I go back here, okay. So I'll take the answer the question later. Then let me just go here. So this is you. Registration and next steps, to go to bloomingLadies.com. You access the full brochure during registration, or you send your email to info@bloomingLadies.com. Sorry, I made a mistake there. It's bloomingLadies.com. Yes, for support and inquiries. And if you actually want to have a call with me, please send an email to info@bloomingLadies.com. If you're on LinkedIn, you can send me a message on LinkedIn, Wunmi Akinlosotu. We'll book a time for us to have conversation to see this really works for you or if you have questions at all, we'll talk about it. Then any question. Okay. So thank you. Thank you very much for the questions. Omar, thank you. I'll take your questions first. Yes, so this is not going to be the only one we're going to have. Yes, so we're also looking at Rwanda, Zambia, Nigeria, and other ones that open. I think Botswana is there, Kenya. So if you can just drop your email address, I would include and send you all the details. And if you follow me on LinkedIn, Wunmi Akinlosotu, just follow Blooming Ladies on LinkedIn, you will shortly get access to know when our next is going to be. And yes, your second question, if we're going to be having webinars, meetings for people that are interested, yes, we'll plan that. And you will get those information when due. Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Okay, the next question here. Okay, yeah. So I understand. Let me just go back to that slide. Some people saying that, though, yeah, if you have people already in Ghana, that you don't need to stay in your accommodation, you don't need logistics, so to speak. You see logistics, let's say, at least you have that covered. So do we pay the same thing? No, you wouldn't. So if you just reach out to me, there's a special rate for you. If you don't need the accommodation, if you don't need logistics and all the feeding that's included for those that stay in the hotel. Yes, we understand that some of you have families or have friends, or you just want to sort that out yourself. So we are not cutting you off. So yes, please do well. info@bloomingladies.com. info at bloomingladies, BLOOMING ladies.com, or send me a message and then we'll work that out for you. Thank you for asking. Any other question? Okay, yes. Okay, thank you for that question. So if you have a male partner that wants to come with you, yeah, either your business partner, yeah, it's okay. Yes, it's possible. Yeah, they can come. Yes, I know it's flat for women, but it's still business, right? So they are welcome to come. I would love to have them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. And for those that's going to watch the replay, thank you. If you have any question, please send an email to info@bloomingladies.com, or if you look for me on LinkedIn, Wunmi Akinlosotu. That's my personal page, or you go to Blooming Ladies page on LinkedIn. Thank you. God bless you. I'm looking forward to have you join us on the Ghana trip. And yes, share the replay with other people. God bless. Bye. I will send it to you on email, by email. I'll share the replay for those that registered. I'll send it to you on email, and I will post. I think if I can post on LinkedIn, I will. Thank you very much. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And for those at night, good night. Bye.